Hello, welcome to Krafting Kitty. My name is Erin. It's Saturday, which means it's time for my weekly roundup. Yeah! So, on my weekly roundup, we like to talk about my week in craftings, my whips, works in progress, and FOs, finished objects. We also touch base on the book I'm reading and television/movies I am consuming. But first, we will look at day 11 of my Something Dark and Grim Halloween countdown from Yarnaceous Fibers. This is Gothic Fairy Tale, said it right, themed. The last few have been based on a story called The Three Brothers. Let's see if that continues. We had some lovely grays for the last couple days. 1, 2, although it started with a blue and then we had, 2 grays in a row? So let's see, 1, 2, 3. This is a sturdy Ziploc. There we go. Oh, I can't see anything. Oh, I can see why. It is a very dark, either charcoal or charcoal gray. This is called The Three Brothers Death's Bargain. So, tonal, very dark charcoal, black gray. Very cool. Very gothic, very on theme. Will go nicely in the set. You need some dark points. You need some dark points. I like it. That's going to be something wonderful. I am liking the idea of Jar of Fate. We'll call it the Box of Fate because it's going straight back into the shipping box. She sent a very nice, substantial, sturdy shipping box. And yeah, we'll probably use that to just randomly pick, and that's what I'll do. Let's hop. I do have a finished object. I don't recall which bag it's in. So let's just hop straight in. Let's start. Big news on the C2C Rave blanket. I've been making a blanket for my daughter from Big Twist Rave. And I am tantalizingly close to being done. This is the final corner. Look at that. It is so close. It is so close. I will likely finish this while I am editing this video. So, it's beautiful. I started with the color Unicorn, Icy Blue, Cyan Crush, Super Beach, and now I'm into Electric Citrus. And it's fun. It's beautiful. I'm so happy it is nearly done. But, it's over here. I get to claim this label because I finished a cake of Electric Citrus and then started on my last cake. So that label goes in my box. Ooh, it's the last sticker on this sheet. So what this is I was organizing and I found a bunch of my kids' old potty training stickers and stuff. So I thought, why don't you make yourself a chart, Erin? And when you fill this chart with claimed labels, you get to make your very first purchase from websyarn.com. I've never bought from them. So that sounded like a fun goal. I thought my goal was going to be 100. I didn't pay attention to when I was drawing my grid. So the goal is 102 because we're going to fill the grid. Because that's how we roll. Did I count this bottom? Whatever, we're going to fill the bottom too. If I didn't count it, it'll be like 110. It'll be awesome. It'll be so exciting. Okay. That's the only label we're claiming this week. That's okay though. The next project, what's in here? Okay, this is my Tin Can Knits Barley hat in DK. I've made a lot of... I've had a whip-splosion of large projects, so I wanted to add in a couple of small projects. This is one. This yarn is Precious Scarlet. It's was dyed by Daniel at Popeye Yarn Company, and I am nearly done with the 1x1 rib for the brim of the hat. You guys know how I feel about 1x1 rib. But that's okay. It's almost done. I'm on like row 7 or 8. My goal is to get to 10 rows. I don't know if that's going to reach the length they wanted for the brim, but I generally do 10 rounds of 1x1 rib, and that's what my soul allows. And then I'm also working on, it's called the Office Vest by Lisa Knits. This is a paid for Barley Hat is free. You can get it on Ravelry. You can get it from the Tin Can Knits app. You can get it lots of places, but it is a free pattern from Tin Can Knits. It is in, they have sizes from newborn to large adult, and they have it in fingering, DK, and worsted. So I am making the office vest for my husband, Brian. This is a paid for pattern. It was around $5 on Ravelry. It's kind of a very simple cabling. I am using Big Twist Jelly Bean yarn in the colorway Rock Candy, kind of a gray base with brown to orange color changes in there. This is really fun. It's a great kind of mindless work. I know you're looking at that cable saying, Erin, how is a cable mindless? But trust me, the cabling is so easy. It's a it's just a 2 cable, so you're good. That is a slow but sure project. Brian never asks for things, so when he asked for a cabled vest for work, I said, yes, sir. Absolutely. Especially since I know the contents of this bag is coming for him. This is a crochet project. Laura over at Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming is doing a What's in a Name Cal. Wonderful idea. Search for a pattern that has your name in the title, not the designer's name, and you make it. I went searching and I found a lot. I found like a beautiful shawl. I found a hat that I do plan to make the hat as well. The shawl I'd love to make. I found a number of projects, but the one that caught my eye was Erin's Simple Crocheted Necktie by Erin Desbois, D-E-S-B-O-I-S. I would say the pattern is not hard, but it is sparsely written, so you need to have some background in crochet to fully understand what you're doing. And that was a kind of comment I saw a couple of times on the comments in Ravelry. But I was confident I could do it, and indeed I did. So, when you saw it last week, I was questioning if I should go wider or not. I looked at it and I looked at his ties, and where I was last week would have been a normal tie. And then I looked at it and I thought, he will find this amusing, but he will not wear it. So why don't you go full extreme? Make it almost avant-garde ridiculous. And I went for the gigantic clown tie. So here we go. Gigantic clown tie. Now, I did tell him about the tie last night and showed it to him. He loved the idea, and I, of course, prefaced it with, don't worry, I don't ever expect you to wear it to work. However, I will ask that you come model it on the channel. And he has agreed to that. He loved the idea. He did love the color because, like I said, that you have to have character to wear pink is just such a running joke for many years between us. And he's, when I showed him the yarn cake that I was using, he was like, oh. And then when I showed him that, he's like, you know, that's not as bad as I was expecting. I was like, I know, right? It's like not as offensive as it could have been. But he got a great chuckle out of it. I think he will get a great chuckle out of the tie. And it might make appearances for Halloween outfits, silly dress-up outfits, that kind of thing. But I certainly don't expect him to wear it to formal business events. There is a necktie in the Mr. Rogers Knitting the Neighborhood book. That one will be made with fingering weight. and I'll let him pick his colors because I feel like that one is something that might actually be something he wears. He did say he was a little disappointed in this tie because he remembers in the 90s, I think he said 90s, yeah, he was doing debate, so he would have been wearing a lot of ties. That's when he first started seeing a lot of like chunkier knit ties, and they all had blunt ends. They didn't have the pointed end, they were all just blunt. He's like, I'm disappointed it is pointed and not blunt, like the classic tie, like the classic knit tie. I was like, you know, now that you're saying this, I can see those in my head. It never crossed my mind when I started making this to go blunt and just make it a giant rectangle that maybe tapered at the back end for easier tying. But maybe that's an idea for the future. I've got one more, yeah, because I already showed Rave. I've got one more bag, which means this one has the finished object in it. This is, I was using Scarfy Light in the color Foliage. It's a lovely color. I quite like it. I had one skein of it on my shelf. I'm pretty sure I have more in storage, but I don't know where it is. The Krafting Kitty Creator Spotlight for this month is the Turtle Trunk. And she had a series of patterns that came out recently called the Bonfire Collection. And one of them was a headband. And here it is completed. She used different colors. So these 4 rows are one color. There's a row of half double crochets. That's a different color. And then the last 4 rows are a different color. But she did suggest making it all one color. So I went that route, and I thought it might look fun in like a fuzzy, fluffy yarn. I really quite like it. I don't know if you're seeing, I can tell there's like a different texture with the row in the middle, but I don't know if you're catching it on camera. But I decided this used very little yarn, very little yarn. So I thought, why don't you make a matching cowl? So I did. I made it much longer. And then I increased, where's my progress keeper? Oh well. I increased the number of rows. I did 5 instead of 4. Just kept it as 1 in the middle. And then I'm on my final round of 5 to finish this. So this one should be finished next week as well. So we should have 2 finished objects. I mean, as I'm editing this video, I could conceivably finish both of them because they'll be sitting here in the room with me. Why not? We will quickly touch base on books. I'm continuing to read Peter S. Beagle's The Innkeeper's Song. I really enjoy it. There are a lot of points of view. There are a lot. But it's enjoyable to me. I still don't think I am far enough to quite get an overall feel for the like overarching theme of the book, but I think we're getting there. I am also reading Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. That is book 2 of the Stormlight Archive. I really, really, really like that series. It is unfinished though. So if you like high fantasy, highly, highly recommend. Highly recommend. If you do not like unfinished series, sit this one out for a while. It's okay. There's other stuff to read. It does. So I always suggest the original 3 Mistborn books. If you're looking to get into Sanderson and want a completed trilogy, that is a complete story in the 3 books. There are some additional works he's written, and then there's a sequel trilogy. You don't have to read the sequel trilogy. The first 3 books will destroy you in the most wonderful way on their own. And then he just announced there's going to be a second sequel trilogy. So eventually there will be 9 main books, and then I think there were 2 kind of extra books written about it, but in the main books of the series Eventually there will be 9, but I haven't read the second trilogy. It's the Wax and Wane books, or how they kind of get referred to. My understanding is those are kind of pretty you don't necessarily have to read the first Mistborn to necessarily get the Wax and Wane, but I'm kind of a purist and I would read them first anyway. Ow, I pinched my finger! Holy you buckets! That smarts, doesn't it? Oh, when you just hit that fingernail just right. Oh, man. Okay, audiobooks. I am still listening to the Chronicles of Narnia. I am on... Oh, shoot. I'm on The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, which is being voiced by Derek Jacobi, however you want to say it. A very talented actor in, like, the Royal Shakespeare Theatre type things. You'll often see him with Kenneth Branagh. You've seen him in things, even if you don't know it. I absolutely I adore the live-action Cinderella. If you've seen that one with Lily James and Madden. His last name is Madden. Oh my gosh, he was on Game of Thrones. I want to say Robert. Is it right? Rob Madden? Robert? He is so freaking handsome. I cannot think of his name. Anyway, Derek Jacobi was the king in that version of Cinderella, if you're looking for a more recent work with him in it. Holy cow, I really got that wrong. As for what I'm watching on television, I had been obsessed with Only Murders in the Building. Guess who didn't realize that the season I was watching is actually new and coming out weekly until it ended and it didn't go to the next episode. And I was like, what? No! So I actually had to Google, did they split the season into 2 parts? And I was like, no, it's currently airing. I was like, thank you, Google AI, for making me feel like an idiot. So I decided to go ahead and start my Stranger Things rewatch, which is going well. If you've not seen Stranger Things, I mean, it's been out forever, especially the first couple seasons. I don't want to spoil anything, but justice for Benny, that is what I'm left with from the first season. I am into the second season already. I did run into an issue, though, with watching television after the kiddos go to bed. I don't like watching anything with scary noises. So, at first, I was going to watch... I turned on Wednesday, because I haven't seen season 2 of Wednesday yet. And then I was like... I watched the first 10 minutes. I was like, Erin, this is Tim Burton. It's more friendly, but there's still scary noises. So this isn't going to work. So I started when the kids are in bed, and if I want something on the TV... Brian tends to go down to the basement to play his video games at night. So I get a television to myself upstairs. I don't like to leave the kiddos alone because, you know, sometimes they pop up and then they get panicked if they can't find a parent right away. Gilmore Girls. So I am starting my umpteenth rewatch of Gilmore Girls. And, I'm still in the first season. I'm episode 3 or 4 now. I don't know how far I'll watch it. I get upset after Amy Sherman-Palladino left. And the tone of the show just shifted so badly. So I might stop this rewatch when she leaves the show. Why not? It's a rewatch for my own enjoyment. If I don't enjoy the show after that point, what's the point of watching? But there you go. That is what I am doing these days. Love to you all. I would love to hear what you've got on tap, what you're working on, what's exciting you, what you're reading, what you're watching. I love it all. I add all book recommendations and television recommendations to my list. When I get to them, I don't know. I've got a huge list, and I've been really trying hard to work on my physical TBR, my physical to be read pile before I add more to it. But you guys are so tempting. Although I have itched the scratch by buying crafting books instead of novels. So there you go. I don't know if you saw, I got a new sock book, Sock Innovations. Where did I put it? Oh, right there. Sock Innovations. Perfection. Also, I mean, I had mentioned I've been buying lots of books for Chomps. So that is fun. That is quite fun. I didn't quite realize how large the realm of graphic novels was and how expansive the themes were, and, you know, how many novels have been turned into graphic novels. I found a graphic novelization of The Hobbit. He said he didn't want it, but I bought it anyway because I found it on a really great deal. So I'm crossing my fingers, I'm trying not to touch this nail, that he will pick it up and enjoy it. We'll see. I actually, in this Prime's Day that just came through, got a copy of the entire series of the Inheritance Cycle, the Aragon books, and it was around 20 bucks for all 4 books. Is it 3 or 4? I feel like it's 4 books. Anyway, so I'm kind of hoping we can read those together as a mommy-son event, because I've never read them. I know my father read at least the first 2 when they came out. I'm not sure if he continued. He's a great reader. He launched me on many of my fantasy journeys. Of course, starting with Hobbit, Lord of the Rings. He set me on to Dragonlance. Tons and tons of books he turned me on to. His eyes, he struggles with reading now, so that's something he's kind of let go. But I mean, he's still got his cookbooks, and those seem to be working fine for him. I just think it's the big walls of texts. I haven't checked about large print older adult books for him. He might enjoy those. Anyway, this is going way off topic. I love you all. I'm going to talk to you later. Bye-bye.